Okay, guys, we're going to try this again. I am not giving up on doing the live show tonight. We're having some extreme technical difficulties, which is a shame and frustrating because I have a guest coming on. So we're trying to get Steph Lane. There's Amy. Steph, if you come on, you're here. Steph. Amy, so you came on and Stephanie's little face isn't popping up where I can invite her. There. It says I can't bring Steph on camera. Why can't I bring her on? So Amy, it says I can bring you on. It says I can bring Joe on. But Stephanie, it says that you and I can't bring you on. Is that something in your settings? I can bring everybody else on but Stephanie. It says can't bring Steph on camera. They can't join your broadcast at this time. That's really frustrating, guys. And I'm trying to monitor these comments and see what's going on. So Stephanie, do you have something in your setting that prevents you? Because I can bring Amy on. I can bring Joe on, my husband, but when I click on your beautiful face, it says that you can't join the broadcast. Okay, Amy, Steph, I'm wondering what we can do about this right now. I don't like wasting anyone's time, so if I have to reschedule this, we will reschedule. Stephanie, the live viewers, I can invite Amy on. Watch. Maybe Amy doesn't want to come on. I can invite Amy on. I can invite Joe on. The guest declined. Sorry, Amy. Let's see. And I'm not able to bring Steph on to the live show. And I don't know why that would happen. Very disappointed here, folks. And Steph, I am so sorry about this. We have a great show planned and we're going to have to regroup and we'll have to do this again because I don't want to waste anyone's time tonight. So I'm going to sign off and Steph and I are going to regroup. And I'm going to get the Zoom program so we can just do this properly. And I'm going to see what's going on with Skype. So we were trying to use Skype Recorder, and Skype sent me 2 diagnostic problems right when we were going live. Let me see. Oh, now I can bring Steph on.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, finally.
It worked. I had to go on my phone.
Oh my.
But the connection is really bad. Hi.
Hi, sweetie. I am so sorry. That was like awful. So the Skype recorder, Skype, it gave me a diagnostic problem right before we were going live.
That's how it is, always.
Right? Technology. So that was going, and literally it was a problem where it says send to Apple. And I was like, yes, send to Apple, report this because I'm trying to do a live show. So I'm glad that this works. So first step is to always have a backup plan, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And always know that technology is not always your friend. So I have my iPad, my iPhone, and my MacBook Air all right here so that I can go onto any device and they're fully charged. But this is the hardest that it's been to try to do a live show. Maybe it has to do with the fires and the earthquake we had. Did you know we had an earthquake?
Yeah, we had an earthquake. Yeah, 4.3.
I didn't feel anything.
Where are you located at?
University Heights.
Okay, so kind of in that area-ish.
Yeah, in that area. Well,
yeah.
Let's get started. So everyone, I'm Mary Fane Brandt with a LinkedIn Bakery, serving up bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. I really like to connect and engage with my viewers. So, you know what? Give us some hearts, some thumbs up. Let me know where you're watching from, what city, what state, and also what business you're in, because you just never know who I have in my network that might need your services. Are you a baker? Do you have cupcakes, cakes? That's service I definitely need because I have the LinkedIn bakery and we like to have cupcakes at all my speaking events. Are you in the health and fitness industry? Are you a meal prep service? God knows I love the meal prep services. So really, I want to know what industry you're in, social media, if you're a speaker, if you're an event planner. One of my God-given talents is being a connector, and I love connecting people to resources, people, and places. So drop some comments in. This is going to be conversational style. We are here to deliver valuable content and tips. And I have a special guest tonight, Steph Lane, Lane, but you also might know, how do I pronounce your last name?
Viegas.
Viegas. That's what I thought, but I
Yes.
wanted to make sure. But she's engaged, so she's trying on her soon-to-be new last name.
Exactly. I am. I'm just
So
trying it on to
just
see how it
trying it
fits.
on to see how it fits. Steph is a fabulous female entrepreneur, and we met at HeraHub, which is a
Hmm.
collaborative workspace for female entrepreneurs. And I always tell everyone it's one of the best investments that I've made in my business. And I'm very sincere in mean that. I not only from the workspace, but the connections that I've made in person and online, and the support and the encouragement. So I love Hera Hub. We've met there, and Steph is into fitness, but more than meditation and yoga. And she launched her I don't know how many companies or businesses you've had, but Sitting Pretty, the yoga.
Yes, sitting pretty
I
still.
love those.
Hmm.
You look
They're
so
amazing.
comfortable.
Yeah, we did a Kickstarter earlier this year for Sitting Pretty Still. So I have two companies. Sitting Pretty Still is a yoga and meditation company. We have cushions and candles. And then we did a Kickstarter earlier this year that was really successful. That was really great.
Yeah,
And then, which was like, oh, awesome. And then I started an online marketing company that I help coaches and consultants get themselves online with intentional marketing strategies and help them with visibility.
I love that. I love
Hmm.
that. And so we kind of have a similar thing because I'm a LinkedIn strategist who helps female entrepreneurs increase their credibility and visibility, but just on LinkedIn. So we should probably partner up at some point. And
I know. You're the LinkedIn, I do the Facebook.
yeah,
Perfect. Match made in heaven.
I totally see like a partnership, like a joint workshop lab type thing. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah. After the show.
After the show. So as Steph mentioned, she's an online marketing strategist. She works with probably not just female entrepreneurs, but that's kind of who I see you with, is all these savvy business professionals and female
Hmm.
entrepreneurs. And you've just got a big heart and you're super talented. And
Thank you.
I am just very honored that you had time to come onto my Facebook Live show. And December is all about reflection, in my opinion. Like what went well this last year, what didn't, and also, setting yourself up for success in 2018. And so the entire month of December, I am focused on providing tips and trends to set yourself up for success in 2018. And so the Monday motivation, the Facebook Lives, and our Tuesday tips are all focused around that. And I'm starting with you this month because it really all starts here, right? In your
Hmm.
mind.
It does. I mean, that's where you get your idea. With anything, it all starts with a thought, an idea.
Right.
And it's your choice if you want to evolve it. Especially as entrepreneurs, we get a lot of ideas all the time. We're like, this is amazing. Why hasn't anyone thought about this? But what separates an entrepreneur between an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur knows how to execute and actually make things happen. And that's something that I've struggled with in the past, was like I had all these ideas and I was doing so many things, and you can only, when you do so many things, you actually don't do them very well. You have to actually do
Exactly.
only a
I
few
really
things and do
believe
them
like
well.
you need to find what your strengths are and where you shine. And for me, that took a while, a year or so. And when I really started as the career coach, but I fell into being the teacher trainer, and that's really where I shine. That's my strength. And
Hmm.
so that's where I moved into that I still do some career coaching, but it's really through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So yeah, is to really we kind of spoke before, Steph and I, to what tonight was going to look like and kind of an agenda because I am a strategist, so I like to have things laid out in
She has a
detail.
plan.
I have a plan. This isn't just us talking
Even though the
tonight.
Wi-Fi didn't work earlier, but
Oh.
it's okay. We're here.
And I do know that doing any kind of live webinars, Facebook Live, whatever you're doing live, that you need to be hardwired. They say to be plugged in with the Ethernet. So my husband, who was on earlier, he knows that when he gets home, I'm going to say, I need that darn cable because that could help. I mean, we have the cable, but we haven't like set it up in the house. So note to self, hardwire when you're going live. It can probably help you out. But
Exactly.
anyways, so Steph is going to talk to us about, I think, really just the mindset and how to wrap your head around that. And we both want to share where we've struggled as entrepreneurs so that you don't have to make those same mistakes and you don't have to struggle as much. I always say I need to write a real simple, like, entrepreneurs for dummies. Like, don't do these 3 things, don't do these 5 things, just like, and
Don't do these because this will cost you money. Don't do this. This will
right?
cost you time. Don't do this.
How
Will
to
cost your relationships.
Right? Okay, so mine
Yeah.
would be how to save $10,000 your first year. Don't buy every program that someone tries to sell you because they all are shiny and glittery and they sound fantastic. But if they don't align with your program and where your journey and your path, it's just wasted money and wasted time. And I love one of the first things that you said is getting clear. Why don't I let you just talk about that, getting clear and the branding.
Yeah. Okay. So clarity is one of my pillars of my business, is actually helping women and men. I have some male clients with the clarity component, because without that clarity and without knowing exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it, you're going to struggle and you're going to never feel completely aligned with your offer or your services. And you're going to feel like, this isn't right. Okay, I'm going to put this offer out there, and then you're going to take it back. It's just, that's where the clarity piece comes, where it's aligned with your values, because all of us, each of us, have our own values and our individual values. And so you first align your values, because most people, if you go up to them and ask them what their values are, majority of people won't know what it is. And that's something that, that's unfortunate, because we don't know what exactly are our values until we do the searching. So from the values, then comes the clarity, and then the clarity goes, this is the type of business model I want to create.
And did you work with somebody to discover your values, or did you just magically come up with those?
I laugh. The reason I laugh is because it took me a really long time to figure those out. But I figured out the values when I started doing digging, and I started doing and really dedicating to my meditation practice, and just talking to my friends and just trying to see what is best to me. Like for me, when I was in my young 20s, I used to love going out and being social and partying, just being out and about. Now one of my values is like, I love my alone time, and I love that reflection time that I get, and that's my personal growth time. And so that's something that I've transitioned, and we mold and we change, and that's what we find. And so one of my values is spirituality. Like, that's very important to me. What is another one? Finding the beauty in the little things. That's another one. So getting clear on what it is that's valuable to me, so that I know that's how I progress forward with the clarity piece, which is, for a lot of women, I will say, is very hard, because we see everything. We're so excited about all this entrepreneurship and all this journey. And it's just like, if you can get really good at 1 to 2 things and be the best and known for that, then you're golden there. And of course, if it's a market that is ready to buy.
Yeah. So I know, like, I don't know how old you are, and I won't say.
It's okay. I just turned 30.
Okay. Well, okay. So I'm 53. And when I grew up, right, it was like in the job marketplace, in the world, they wanted you to be a jack of all trades. Like, if you were a jack of all trades, you could get a job. And what I think people need to realize is that's not a commodity anymore. You need to be really specialized, and you need to know your niche, and you need to know who your audience is. And the deeper you can get on that, the clearer you can get on that, the better your messaging will be, the better your offers will be, and you'll attract the right clients, the right ideal audience, right?
Exactly. I remember when I interviewed for an admin position, they're like, you need to know this, 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 and QuickBooks and some other crazy thing. And I was like, I really have no interest in learning QuickBooks. And I didn't get the job. But so like knowing what you're aligned to, which is great about entrepreneur, you can just hire someone else out to do that for you. Hopefully
Right.
you can. Yeah.
Outsourcing. Um,
Outsource.
outsource. It's my new thing. I'm learning to embrace outsourcing. So we wanted to talk about your journey as a entrepreneur. So we have some notes here about, you talked about like why you're going into business, like getting really clear, your
Mm-hmm.
clarity. And I'm curious if you're okay, can we talk about the two businesses that you failed at and how, because that might
Yeah.
help some other women.
Yeah, so I started my first business in 2014 or 2013, and it was a yoga talk show. It's on YouTube. I still kept it up there because I know down the
Good
road
for
I'll
you.
show it to somebody. I'll kept it up there. And it was called Yogi Talk. And I
You
loved this
that's
concept and
cute.
I loved this show. Isn't that cute? It was called Yogi
Yeah,
Talk and I
I love it.
loved the show, but I had no structure in the business. There was no infrastructure. I did not know where my revenue stream was. I did not have a content calendar. I didn't even know what we were talking about. I kind of just like winged it, like whatever. And I know a lot of creatives are kind of like that, like whatever, flows my way, I will create. And that's great, but you need some structure and you need
Yeah.
that a little bit of that masculine side in your business. And it failed because I got burnt out
Mm.
and I started to resent. I resented it. I remember my last interview, which I think I hit it. It's not even on it's not even on YouTube. I think I hit it. I was just like, oh, okay, all right, this is great. And I was just my energy was low and I completely resented it. And then I closed that chapter and then I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this again.
Okay.
And then six months later, I started another business and same thing happened again where I didn't build the infrastructure. I didn't have a revenue plan. Like I was like, what am I doing? Like it's like when you date, like when girls date the same guy, different face.
So you were just
So
kind of winging it, like, oh, I have a passion for yoga, so I'm going to talk about it and I'll build a business without like
yes.
thinking it through. And for me, like, I went to one of the Hera Hub strategy sessions, that 1 day
Hmm.
session, and that really helped me get clear on some of my messaging and my funnel. So that kind of takes us into number three is coaching, and how
Hmm.
coaching can really help you clarify your strategies, your funnels. I mean, unless you've been down this entrepreneur road before, I think for any new entrepreneur, you need coaching.
Yes. And that's actually how my business grew is because I joined Hair Hub and then I hired two coaches. And that's when I was like, okay, this is it. I can't wing this anymore. Like this is I'm done. I'm done winging it. And I kept going back to jobs. Like I got a really good job with this big company and it just everything I would always fall apart. And I was like, okay, why is it always falling apart? Obviously, I need to look back and think what it is. So now that I've gotten coaching and help and people that are supporting me, I know that the infrastructure is so important.
Right.
And that's
And,
what I teach my ladies.
and see, and I'm a big believer in, I call it investing in yourself. Whether it's a coach, a program, but I really believe that investing in yourself with a coach will pay off. And so whether you do that for 3 months and then you try some things out that they do and then you go back for 6 months. And I think there's different types of coaches. There's business coaches, personal development coaches, the strategic coach, a Facebook coach, a LinkedIn coach. I really believe that, there are different coaches out there to serve you at different seasons in this entrepreneurial
Mm-hmm.
journey. Right now, I'm not with a coach, but I know very soon, I'm probably next year, I'm pivoting in my business and
Mm-hmm.
expecting some exponential growth next year. And it'll be time to really sit with a coach and do that strategic planning, the revenue planning that you're talking about.
And then the coach just gives you is your encouragement, your support system, because they have a big, they hold your big vision for you. Because a lot of times you'll have your big vision and then you'll draw back. You'll have it and then things will happen and they hold it to you and they get that mirror and they're like, this is your vision. This is what you wanted, remember?
Right, right. They help keep you on that path and help keep you accountable and on track, and
Yeah.
someone for you to discuss with. So, I'd love to talk. What other mindset tips do you have for our audience
Yeah,
today?
let me give you some mindset tips. So the first one I have is, well, there's two mindsets. There's the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset believes that their habits, values, and talents are already set. Meaning, like, I am the Timmy's
I am
great
who
at
I am.
baseball. I am who I am. Yeah, I am who I am. Where the growth mindset, it's like I am what I want to be, and I am who I want to strive to be, and that is where the growth mindset is. They they're okay with feedback, constructive
Okay.
feedback. They always want to grow. They always want to learn. But most, especially our culture, is told to we are told to have this fixed mindset because
Yes.
they want us to fit us in this mold. And I remember in schooling always feeling like I was never this, I'm never going to get better at something. But now, as entrepreneurs, you have to adopt the growth mindset and know that that is continuous. Like you're growing and you're expanding.
I agree. I
Hmm.
agree. Another mindset tip.
Yeah,
And
so I have another one, and I just have my notes here. So the number one, so this one is a big one for entrepreneurs. Is in the very beginning, you're kind of just scrounging, trying to get work, but when you get your foundation and everything established, knowing your worth, and being willing to charge accordingly.
yes.
Yes, charging accordingly and adding tax, right? That is so important because a lot of times I see entrepreneurs charging like $20 an hour, and in California, minimum wage is $10 an hour. So if you think about it, you're paying taxes and you have to pay your health. So you're making $14 an hour, really. And so you're only making $4 to $5 more than a minimum wage employee when you have all these
Extra cost.
experiences, certificates, extra costs, and you're just basically just you're not valuing your work and your
If you
essence
don't
and who you
value
are.
yourself, how can you expect other people to value you?
Exactly. Exactly. Hmm.
Yeah. And I wanted to, because remember we had a question that Marissa posted.
Yes.
Um, what is a good method to get your ideal client on your mailing list via your website? I often see people offering an ebook or a guide. What are effective ways to generate more traffic from social to website?
That is such a great question. So I actually did a visibility challenge with some women, and I helped them figure out what is their best freebie or opt-in.
Okay.
The best opt-in and freebie is the one that is fun for you to create. And so there are so many that she can create. She could create a video series. She could create audios. She could create a training series, a PDF doc. Probably a list. You could just type in like freebie list, a list of 100 opt-in ideas. The best one is the one that you get excited to create. And one,
Interesting.
yeah, and the reason why I created a 5-day challenge that blew up, that did so well that I did not expect. It was a visibility and marketing challenge. And because I'm kind of bossy, so I like to tell people what to do. And it worked out great. And it was very successful because I had fun. It didn't feel like work. Where if someone was like, create a PDF and do this, I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, that sounds so
Did
boring.
did it grow your email list?
It grew my email list.
Can you share with us by how much, number
Yeah,
wise or
sure.
percentage wise?
So I had no email list. It went from 0 to 150 in a
Uh,
week.
in a
And these are
week.
in a week, yeah.
And this is your ideal target.
And it's my ideal target. My open rate's great. This is my customer. And then the same thing happened with Sit and Pretty Still. Sit and Pretty Still had a 0 email list, and I grew it to 1,000
Awesome.
and quality leads. I'm not talking because like I know a lot of times people are like, I have a 11,000 list or I have 30,000. That's fine, but only if like 1,000 people are opening it, it's not a good quality list.
Right, right. I'm
Hmm.
working on growing my email list. And to all the viewers out there, I'm going to say this: email marketing is not dead. You still need to do email marketing, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect. So I see a question from Laura. How do you get past the guilt mode to chart to the charging phase? Can I answer
Ooh,
that?
yeah,
And then you
it's
want to
all
answer that?
yours.
Okay. When you answer that, I just need to go grab after. Actually, you want to answer it? I'm just going to grab a charger because my phone's going
Wait,
to
what was
die.
it called? What was the question again?
Oh, how do you get past the guilt mode to the charging phase?
So we all have bills to pay. We invest in coaches, programs. We invest our not only our money but our time. I invested a lot of time in learning my craft, and I continue to invest. And at the beginning, it is hard, and you don't want to turn people away because you're like, I'm trying to make a living, I'm trying to make this work. But I say that it happened for me gradually, where now I'm in a place. If someone says no to me, I'm like, okay, but it wasn't always like that. So I share that because at the beginning it is hard and you tend to cut your prices because you're like, I need customers, I need clients. But I just want to tell you out there that look at what other people are charging. And if you're just starting out, you shouldn't be charging top dollar if you're just starting out. But you also should be getting your worth. So I listened. I saw a woman named Amy Rasdell. I think she started Billable by the Beach and Billable with Baby. So she was a state. She's like an accounting person, data scientist. Left corporate job because she was having a baby. They didn't want to give her up. She's like, well, you can hire me per hour. So she's like, $150 an hour is an easy number to charge when you're in the coaching consulting business. So to the person that asked that question, get with a coach. I would totally tell you to hire a coach and work with them on your pricing structure. And then, once you
Hmm.
work on it and you feel good about it, then you don't have the guilt. But I think that you have to be confident in your pricing structure and your offerings. So if you're having guilt, maybe your offerings are not in line with what you're charging.
Exactly. And then also finding out, Laura, what your money story is. What's your relationship with money? It's not a
Oh,
very
yeah.
fun thing to do. Yeah, but really uncovering what your money story is and figuring that out on your father's side and your mother's side, because each of them have different stories. And then even from your grandparents' side, like, what's that money story? And then I will tell you, like, a kind of woo woo tip that kind of works. Actually, it really works, is emotional freedom technique. If you do some EFT tapping of like why you are having some guilt about charging, and I swear, I promise it will go away.
Okay, we're gonna
And you
have to.
can go on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and you can type in EFT, emotional freedom technique, and type in charging your worth or something. And I'm sure there's like hundreds of videos on YouTube.
Now, when we're talking about, the guilt of the charging, the money and everything, do you find that women have this issue more than men?
Yeah, I mean, a man will go into a position, and I even because I was in management, and I remember with this big snack company, and the man would be like, "Oh, I need to be this $30 an hour," and they don't have any experience. Where the girl like had so much experience, and she'd be like, "Oh, $15 an hour,"
Yeah.
and it was just ridiculous. And I remember like. I remember being like to the woman, like, no, you have to make sure you ask more because you are look how much experience you have. You have so much qualifications. So yeah,
Right.
women, we do have a problem with that, and it's unfortunate, and it's
So
part
knock
of
that
the
off,
pay
women.
gap.
Charge your worth.
Charge your worth.
Yeah, make that money. Don't let,
make
yeah. And I think
make
as
that
women,
cheddar.
that's just an overall theme. And our overall arching theme is that, we have more issues with money as far as charging our worth. And I don't know.
It comes from self-worth. And we've been told we're not enough since we were like little. And from advertisers, from everything. And maybe I'm sure hopefully we all had great parents, but if you look at all the advertising, it's all the time, it's always, you're not enough. You're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not this, you're not that. So
God made you all perfect just the way you are. You're unique in your own way. God made you with special talents. We all have different talents and skills, but you need to put them into action and you need to be proud of them. So, my personal story with my first business, which just evolved to this, was True Career Coaching, and I was going to be this fabulous career coach. Um, Fast forward, like I didn't align with I didn't align, Laura, I didn't align with my verbiage, with my price list, with my offering. Like it didn't, I didn't love it. And
It didn't light you up.
it didn't light me up. And when I rebranded, which Melissa Glaze and I started last October, she redid my website. I hired first off, you need to work with a branding person. You can't just go out there and start your business. Get with a branding person, because I'm 3 years into my business. I'm on my second set of logos and my second website. Had I done the branding exercise, had I taken 6 months to figure out what my brand style, that my brand, all of it, my tone or my branding style is fun and informative. I know my tone, I know my language, I know my colors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my element now, saying the LinkedIn bakery, serving up bite-sized tips. That's what I love to do. But that first year and a half, I wasn't that excited. And I stumbled
Mm-hmm.
over my words. And when you stumble over your words, you lose your confidence. You don't think you're smart enough. You don't think what you're offering is great. So we have to get rid, once again, we're going to go back to mindset. You have to get rid of the negative self-talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to get rid of that
Exactly.
negative self-talk so that you can build your business up. And personally, I always say, if I don't put myself on a pedestal, how can I expect anyone else to? So what I mean by
Yeah.
that, if I'm not thinking that, what, I really know what I'm doing, yes, there's always room for improvement. But if I'm not like, yeah, I've got this, how can I expect anyone else to believe in me and think that I've got this?
I will tell you the last quote, but I want to last tip, mindset shift. But it's really funny though. This is a funny story. Kanye West, we all know he loves himself, but he has
Yeah.
a big picture of himself like on his above his fireplace or something. And this guy goes, "Hey, like, what's up with that photo?" He's like, if I'm not my biggest cheerleader, then nobody will cheerleader
Ah,
me. Like,
okay.
like
As much
will
as I
support
don't
me.
like him, that's a valid point.
That's a valid point. Yeah, like him or hate him. But I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, you got to be your own cheerleader first before other people can accept you. I mean, love you. And
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, and then the last one, we already kind of discussed it, is remember, you can't do it alone. You can't do this alone. It's not possible. Today, I got my groceries delivered. I get my house cleaned. And I used to feel guilty about that. And women, we feel guilty about that. But now I'm like, you can't do it alone. And that's where the coaching comes in. That's where you get support from other people. That's when you get your groceries delivered. You create this system to support you so you stay sane, so you can actually help and serve people. That's what we're here for, service.
Absolutely. Outsource what you can. I just started working with a virtual assistant for this month, and
Mm.
I'm super excited. And for me, it's another Christian woman. So that, as a Christian, so my struggle with the money, back to the money thing, is I was thinking as a Christian, I didn't need to make that much money, right? Like, oh, I don't
Mm.
need that much money. Well, I had to get out of that self-talk, because the more money I make, the more people I can bless by hiring them, right?
And then the
So,
more you can support charities, and yeah.
right. And so I had to, and I share that story not because of, like, oh, look at me. I'm like, what is your self-talk in your head that is preventing you from charging your worth, or from saying, yeah, I want to make $200,000 a year because I have this. No, I only need to make this much. Right. And now I'm like, no, I need to make like triple that, because I want to hire people, I want to give to charities, and I want to bless other people. So it really does start in your mindset. So get clear on what your blocks are, hire a coach, get some help, and really lay out your goals. Start thinking, what are your goals for 2018, and not just financially. What are your
Mm-hmm.
overall goals? One needs to be financial. I think one
Yeah,
needs to be your
physical.
growth,
Mm-hmm.
physical. But in your business, like in my business, it's not just about money for me. Like that's always going to be a goal. But my goal for 2018 is to speak once a month and to get paid for it now.
Yeah.
So So, it's to speak once a month and get paid for at least 6 speaking gigs next year. So, and to write a book and launch a course.
You are ambitious, Mary.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So what are your goals next year?
My goals, actually, which is my goal is to let go of control a little bit.
Ooh, that's a big goal.
Oh, it's a big one. Yeah, it's something that I realized that I don't know, I've been, maybe someone can relate, control freak for the last 30 years. So, control freak. So, I'm just ready to surrender a little bit and trust divine, just trust
Okay.
more because I know that the more that I trust, the more that I'm guided, and the more that I'm guided, the more alignment I feel.
Awesome. I'd
Mhm.
like to wrap up. I'd like everyone to hear about your new Tribe Academy.
Yeah, so Dream Tribe Academy is a program that I created for women. It's 90 days. It's basically clarity marketing and learning how to sell and market yourself and launch. Launching is fun. So I'm teaching these women how to find their aligned goals and how to find their aligned business and set them up for success. So I'm running it right now, which is fantastic, but I'm going to run it again in February because it's been such a success and to see these women grow with Dream Tribe Academy. So my whole goal with Dream Tribe is to get more women to build their dreams and to have aligned goals, which we've been
Yay!
talking
I
about
love
today.
it.
Yay.
So, Steph, how can we'll put your information again in the post, but go ahead and give a big shout out, like to your website or how people should they email you? Go ahead and just share it.
Yeah, just find me on Facebook on Stephanie Lane, or you can find me my current name, Stephanie Villegas, and then my website, stephanielane.net.
StephanieLane.net. Perfect. Well, this has been great, and I am looking forward. Stephanie, if you come up with any other mindsets that mind shifts, sets, what is the word that you want to share? I'm like that you want to share. Feel free to drop them in on the Facebook. So we're
Yes,
gonna
of
go
course.
in there and put some comments and stuff in, but feel free to go in there. And you guys, if you have any other questions or comments, we want engagement. We want you to pop your questions in and let us know how we can support you. Because I think Steph and I are in alignment that we're here to serve the female entrepreneurs of the world. And I'm on a personal mission to serve 1,000 by the end of next year. So be one of
Yes.
those 1,000 for me.
Yes. Let's raise the world's vibration. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Well, it's been so much fun having you on, Steph, and we will definitely talk probably after the first of the year, see how we might partner up and collaborate on something fabulous.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mary.
Okay. Bye, guys. Have a great night.